Hello everyone, welcome back to Humble Acres. And today we are actually doing some field work, finally. It's been a little while since I've been out in the fields, but I did a short video on this. It was literally like 15 seconds long. But this field, it got some type of a crabgrass out here, and apparently it doesn't have any nutritional value. So the best it would be good for is bedding, but around here, there is a need for bedding, but we have a lot of cornfields, so a lot of the old corn stalks and stuff are used for bedding. So there's just not really a use for it. It's definitely not worth me baling it and trying to sell it. I just won't get any money back out of it. So we are just going to mow it today with my brush mower. If you haven't seen this before, this is my brush mower. It's a King Cutter Professional. It's a 60-inch, which I got this when I had my old Ford 8N tractor. If I got this again today, I would definitely get either a 6 or a 7-foot mower, but this will do just fine. And it was fairly cheap, and honestly, I could probably get most of my money back out of it if I did want to sell it and upgrade to a bigger one. But for as much as I use it, I think it'll be just fine. I'm not going to be mowing these fields like this usually with it, so it'll be alright. And the tractor tires are actually narrower on this tractor than my Ford was, because I had the Ford one set out as far as they possibly could. And these actually aren't set out as far as they possibly can, but you can see there's not much of an overlap there. But anyway, it'll work just fine. I found if I keep my front tires right in the row, that basically matches perfectly up with the mower. So that should be good. So, my son and I are going to be mowing this. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So, we're going to get out here and start mowing this. The other field I do need to bale, which I should probably do this week as well because it's supposed to be beautiful weather. It's cooled off a lot this week, and it's going to be like a high of 70 today, which is amazing. So it's just absolutely gorgeous out here. So this is going to take probably a couple hours to do, but we have quite a bit of time today to do it and beautiful weather. So praise God for that. So let's get to this. Might be a little windy out here, so sorry about the noise. For the usual. So you can see right here, this is the grass that I don't want, and this is the grass that's actually very good. And what I'm noticing when I'm out here is where I mowed it and baled it the first time this year is where all of this came up. And this, I didn't mow and bale this year, and it's fine. One thing that I realized was right after I baled it, it was dry. We basically went into a drought, and I think this is just the only thing that would grow in that drought. But since this was already up and covering the ground, it prevented the other weeds and grasses from growing. So that's why this doesn't have any of this crabgrass stuff in it. So I think if I would have come out here and mowed this a lot sooner, I could have had more grass come up and it probably would have been fine. I'm still debating on whether I'm going to try to replant this for next year. I'm leaning towards no, just because I want to get all of these trees out of here first, and then I want to plow the whole field and replant everything with a really good quality mixture of hay grass or alfalfa or whatever I decide at that time. So that field over there is still doing really well. It has very few weeds in it. It's not very tall though, which I am realizing now that I should have went out there and mowed it and baled it earlier, because there's a good chance that it would have come back again, just not as tall. So this is my first year of baling that I've had a really bad drought, like in the middle of the season or over the summer. And it definitely is a lot different. The grass did not grow very much over there at all. And I'm realizing now, just from looking around at other fields around me, people were mowing their grass a lot shorter and just baling it shorter. And I didn't realize that. So I really should have just, when I saw someone else baling, I should have just come out here and done the same thing, because I don't know what I'm doing, and they obviously are probably a lot smarter than I am, so I should have just went by what they were doing. There was one year, actually I think it was last year, that I did that. I baled after I saw the guy south of here, he baled his land, so I just baled the same time, and it worked out really great for me last year. So I think next year I might just copy that same philosophy. Just copy the people around me, because they probably have way more experience than I do at this. So this year, I'm pretty sure I'm just mowing this down, and we're gonna hope that next year this grass comes back. I also want to mow this down as well, because it's been a lot wetter lately, so I don't think we're gonna have any weeds or anything come up, and I want to mow this down to keep any trees or bushes from coming up any more than it already is. I did that last year. In this video right up here, I used my 4 to 8N to mow basically every inch of this field that I possibly could. I was out here mowing all day one day, and at the end of the day the tractor broke. So you can check that video out up here. I really want to bale that one more time, even though I don't really have a buyer for the hay now. That's the one less motivation I have, is I'm gonna have to advertise it. I'm gonna have to pick it up off the field and store it. It was really nice when my brother just came and picked it up, because then I didn't have to worry about it, but they don't want the hay anymore, so now I gotta figure something else out. So let's get to finishing this field. One other thing I want to talk about real quick, something I didn't realize at first just because I had inexperience, but with these mowers, when you have this flex joint right here, you don't want your top link to be all the way forward and have this really tight. You want this to be back a little bit, so this is bent up a little bit. And what that does is make it so the back of the mower can go up and down and move freely. And if you have one of these brush cutters that doesn't have that flex link in it, then you should really disconnect your top link and only connect the bottom two. And that way it'll allow the mower to flex like this. It'll work a whole lot better. That's something that I didn't realize about these mowers until like a year after I got it, and it just makes a world of difference. Because if you hit any bump or anything, this would either come off the ground or slam into the ground. Like, I guess if it goes into the ground it's fine, because it'll just flex up, but if you're going down a hill or something, it'll just lift the back of the mower up, and then it's not cutting anything. So just a little tip. I did want to mention my tractor has a cool feature on it I didn't realize. So most tractors have a little red line on the tack over here where the 550 RPM is, but on this one it has a digital dash, so you can see it says rear PTO right there, and then it actually says it's off right now. I don't know if I can switch to on or not. Yeah. So then you see it has a 0 there. Well, that actually shows you the RPM of the PTO. So then you just adjust the throttle up until this says 540, and then it's good to go. Kind of a cool feature, and that way you know you're kind of precise, and if it bogs down, it like changes and adjusts. It doesn't stay right on 450 all the time. It bumps up and down a couple RPM, but it's a pretty cool thing. It's nice if you have something else that needs to have a different RPM, then you can adjust it to wherever you need without like going back there and actually testing it to see what RPM is it, what engine speed. So just a cool little feature. I guess that's gonna be it for this video. Got this field all done here. I do have another little patch down there that I just kind of didn't do, but I'm gonna go back and get that done real quick. But I think you've probably seen enough mowing. So I don't know what we'll be doing next, but thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.